In communication with Southern California, KHJ-TV Public Affairs presents Teen Talk. There are approximately 3,200 colleges and universities in the United States, private and state-supported, serving nearly 12 million students. Over one-third of America's colleges and universities have an open-door admission policy. All that is required is a high school diploma. Studies show that many students think where a student goes to college is more important for success than what a student accomplishes in college.
This fall, approximately 2.5 million new students will join the 12 million college students at the 3,200 campuses across the United States. These students spent all last fall applying to the schools of their choice, filling out applications, writing essays, taking achievement tests, searching for recommendations, and meeting counselors. The process for those qualified has become big business. For those students that have just average grades, there are other options that are more positive than we are led to believe. I'm Joseph Feinstein, and today on Teen Talk, we've invited a guest expert, Dr. Maurice Salter, a professional college counselor, as well as a panel of teens who are ready to jump into the application process. Welcome, panel. Welcome to Teen Talk. I think we're going to open with you, Dr. Salter, and I'm going to ask you, what are some of the important considerations and qualities that young people should be looking for in the matter of choosing a college? Is it the money problem? Is it the grades? Is it the in-school? What's important?
I think, first of all, obviously in today's marketplace, money is a significant factor, and families are very sensitive to the high cost of colleges. Many, it ranges to almost $20,000 per annum at a private college. But I think, besides that, the most important thing a student has to do is to have that match between them and the college. Finding the right place. We were talking about that a little bit earlier today, too. The idea that colleges have personalities just like the student does, and to try to find a place that comes together for the student is a significant part of the process. It comes through the information that colleges send the students, and the catalogs are different. It comes through the visits that many students have, and through people who visit their schools from the colleges, and that general assessment, and counseling definitely as well.
Panel, let's open this up. What have you guys been looking for in the selection process for, determining your school, the school that you want to go to? Mark, why don't you start us off?
Well, I sort of look for the school with a good reputation, the school that has a high quality, good caliber of teachers, good caliber of students also.
Mm-hmm.
Size is also a factor.
You like a big school or a small one?
Not too small. It's been tough sort of figuring out your size.
1 million students at this campus, right? Yeah. Uh-huh.
I have said it has to be bigger than my high school. That's a definite need.
I see.
But there's so many factors determining it. It's like so many colleges, and it's so difficult.
Judy, what are you looking for, Judy?
Well, I'm really interested in science, so I want to find the school that has the best science program. And, there's a lot of good science schools, but as well, I want good teachers and good teacher-student interaction, and also a chance for research during the undergraduate study.
You want to do some research. Does cost come into it at all?
Well, cost is a factor, but my mother and my sister have said that just go to the best college that I can go to, and I'll come up with the financial aspect.
Really? Well, that's very fortunate.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very fortunate. What about for you, Wendy? What's an important thing in the selection process for you?
Well, I really want to go to a small college where you can get to know the teachers and talk to them. It's not just one big lecture where you bring your tape recorder and tape the teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm interested in a school with a good theater department and good teachers and kind of a school with a good reputation, too.
Like what? Give me a school that would be kind of like for you. Tell me a couple of schools.
Well, I'm not really sure yet, but a lot of schools I've been considering so far, Whittier College and Occidental and UOP.
Okay. So you're thinking of some of the smaller colleges that are available. And you, what about you?
Well, I don't really know where I'm directed in terms of what I'm going to study, but the location of the school is a big factor to me because I think it's more than just a place where you learn. It really becomes your home for the next 4 years of your life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a city person. I wouldn't be comfortable out in cow pasture.
Okay.
And I want a good number of students, maybe 10,000.
10,000.
Yeah.
You came up with that number. Do any schools, fill the bill, so to speak, for you?
I'm interested in Stanford because it's a real challenging school. It's reputable and it's close to my home.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also really interested in Brown.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
And how about you, Danny? What are you thinking about? What kind of school you want to go to?
Yeah, well, one of the things is that when you don't know what exactly you want to do, you have to look for a good college that has a broad array of programs. And so some of the bigger schools have that. So if I want to go to one field or any field, I have an opportunity to do that at school. So I'm kind of looking at a broad liberal arts college.
Mm-hmm. Well, Tom, it's a good idea to plan early in your selection process. Is it a good idea to plan early, or can they just kind of coast around and look around, Dr. Salter?
By planning early, if you're talking about where to apply, that has to be done early today. I mean, the application filing periods are in the fall of the senior year. To come back from summer and suddenly be thrust into the process is a shocking revelation to many. So I think early in meeting the junior year is a good time to start thinking, meeting with people, talking about where you'd like to apply, research the schools, use the summer to investigate them further. I'd like to make one other point, too. I think that Danny made a really good point about the selection of major. So often students feel they have to choose a college because of the major that it has. And I think that breadth of a liberal arts curriculum at any college is an important thing to emphasize today for students. They don't need that pressure to choose the major.
Many people quietly agree that most young people selecting a college are influenced by that school's status. How do you think that status is established? Are there in-schools? Pamela, do you think there's in-schools? How do you feel about that, Mark?
Well, there's definitely a lot in schools, depending on the type of student that you are and that you want to be. Traditionally, you see Santa Barbara and the Arizonas are party schools.
Mm-hmm.
And
don't tell them. They're not supposed to know they're party schools, yeah?
A lot of other in-schools and where that receive a lot of applications would be Brown and Georgetown does, and Yale. And the reason I gave for it myself is that the quality of the faculty has led to its reputation.
Mm-hmm.
Once reputation is achieved, the applications there tend to increase.
I see.
But also, a lot of the UC schools are become more popular as more of the West Coast, kind of the whole all California status they're getting, and also more students can there's more range of students that can apply to those schools.
Is there an in-school for you? What would you consider an in-school to be?
Well, between like an in-school like UCLA, something like that, where I would want to go would be like back east or something, go to Harvard.
I see.
But I mean, talking about in schools, popular schools, I think like the UC school is very popular.
Well, David?
Yeah, I also think that the schools back east are very popular, such as Brown, as Mark mentioned, and Penn too. Brown's popular, I think, because they have a liberal curriculum. They really don't push you anything hard. You can choose your own.
Didn't they make some big changes, Brown, recently?
Yes, they have no real true distribution requirements, which is an Ivy League college is unique to Brown, and I think that's a terrific point to bring out, that uniqueness has helped them tremendously. A lot of this is also self-fulfilling prophecies. When students start going from a geographic area, they encourage more kids to go just by their examples. I think also athletic teams, we can't forget, often make schools more visible.
When I graduated Hunter College back in '55, the in-school at that time, back in New York, was UCLA. And I wanted to go to UCLA. It had a tremendous reputation. And when I had come out here in '53 and went to UCLA and saw the campus, and I was so excited by it. And then when I went to my first class in September of '55, 31 years ago, I walked in, I could not believe that classes could be that large. I had gone to Hunter College, and most of my classes were between 30 and 40 students. The first class I walked into was in an upper division U.S. History Civil War class, and there were 400 kids signed into that class. I thought I went into the wrong room. I walked out. I walked all the way down the corridor, and I walked in the other door, and it was the other door to the same room. I couldn't believe classes were that large. How about you, Samantha? What kind of school are you choosing for yourself?
Right now, I really want to go to UC Santa Cruz because it fits me. It's out there, it's right near the ocean, and the people there are really like the earthy type. And
you're an earthy person?
I'm an earthy person. I like to, kind of stick with myself or something, And I don't know much about the teachers, but I know it has a good reputation, and the environment's really nice. I mean, I went up there, and it's just you're walking through a forest to your next class. So I want to go there.
And would you comment about that, Dr. Salter? Earthy people.
Well, I think it's funny how certain stereotypes emerge. Santa Barbara and Arizona as being, quote, party schools. Indeed, I think, for example, in Santa Barbara's case, I think that's we call it folklore. Things that have existed over a period of time where large surfer population, bicycles with surfboards, et cetera, kind of hallmark the campus along with parties and Wild Isle Vista area. Today, that campus happens to have a tremendous development of technology in its programs, and if you look at it, it's a very different school today, but those ideas come through. Santa Cruz, for example, had a lot of that earthy feel. It still does. It's ungraded the first 2 years. Students like the kind of lack of structure placed on them and the feeling that they are accessible. It is a smaller UC campus, too. In fact, among the very smallest. And it's divided into 8 smaller colleges, so it becomes a very personal process. I think that was a good description.
Let me change the focus just a little bit. One of the things that the college admissions officers are going to look for on your college applications is your creativity, your ingenuity, your cleverness. I mean, apart from SAT scores, and apart from the fact that you can pay the bills that are going to be coming up in room and board and so on, they want to see your originality. How do you express that part of yourself into the application? How are you doing that?
Well, I haven't begun my applications yet. It's really easy just to leave them in the desk and just think about them.
I think I'll do it tomorrow.
But I'm always a little wary about trying to give the college what they want to hear. I'd rather really present myself to them. I think with any ingenuity, you can turn any situation into something they want to hear.
What do they want to hear? What do they want to hear?
What do they want to hear?
What do they want to hear?
I wish I know, because I think the person who knows that is going to get into the college.
I think they want to know exactly what you were saying. Yeah. They want to know about you as a person. They want you to express yourself, and they give you the openness in which to do it. It's a fun time to communicate with them in writing. Most applications require an essay. It's your chance to give them that specialness about you.
But they want you to fit to their school. They want to know that you fit to their school as well.
How are you going to make David stand out in this whole world in your application from all the hundreds and thousands that are coming up?
Well, I like helping people. I volunteered in an old age home, and I volunteered in the hospital. And helping people is really important to me. And that's
okay. So helping people, that's your claim.
That's my
claim. Wendy?
I think you should be yourself. Like when you write the essay, you shouldn't try to think about what the college wants to hear. You'll just confuse yourself and end up writing the wrong thing anyway. Just be yourself, and I think you should write about extracurricular things that you did, not just grades.
Yeah, because your application can only tell them so much. I mean, because you're just your name and your address. I think the essay is a time you have to just tell them tell them about you.
And the interview is very important.
You don't have to, when you write your essay, you don't have to directly tell them about you and your activities. You can show yourself in other ways. Like one thing that I do a lot is I write a lot of fiction, and I plan on, along with submitting something telling about all my activities and the things I've done, I plan on submitting just some of the fiction that I've written, because that's something that's individual.
It seems as if the top 40 or 50 colleges in the United States are just as selective, or perhaps more selective than ever. The number one myth about getting into college is that colleges are only looking for the superstars. Do you feel this is true? Samantha?
I do feel it's true, because I am not a superstar when it comes to, academic achievement. I'm just borderlining on a grade point average of 3.5,
3.2. And I feel very, very intimidated by all those other people around me that have 4.0s. And I don't think I'll be accepted, whereas I know they will, just because their grade point average is so much better in their SAT. And it's hard to deal with, and there's a lot of stress involved with that.
Anybody else have any points? Go ahead, Dan.
But one thing about a superstar is that, academics is, definitely one of the main things to look for. But, the superstar is more like the more rounded, the well-rounded person, with athletics, maybe community service, and you're also strong academically. And I think that's why the colleges want, a superstar like that, because they're going to, be a plus for the college.
Apart from the superstar factor, there's another important factor, and that's that astronomical costs. I think they've rated that some of these schools, with room and board, tuition, and so forth, is running around $17,000 to $20,000 a year. And I'm wondering, how are you young people going to take care of those kinds of expenses? What are you going to do, Mark?
Well, fortunately, cost isn't that important of a factor to my family. But obviously, I can help out as much as I can, do my best to get a scholarship, and just, try to get as many best I can.
Okay. What about you, Mark?
I would like to marry the man that finances for their education at the university. I think it's really the very lucky person who can go through college without any form of financial aid. I've been saving since I was an infant, so everything goes into the bank.
For just that purpose?
For college.
And are you going to support yourself while you're in school? Are you going to work while you're in school or not?
If it comes down to working, I will work. I think it's really important to concentrate on studies and not get sidetracked.
Should the kids work or not work while they're in school?
Well, in college, most studies show that if they've worked prior to getting to college, they can successfully blend work into college. But if they haven't, it's a difficult job. And it's a little deceiving, too, because if you look at a 15-hour course load and you think you're in class 15 hours a week, that seems to leave a lot of time to work and do other things, when indeed there's a lot of studying required. So I would be very cautious about that, and if I were going to take a job, I'd do it very, very slowly, maybe start at 10 hours a week at the most, and see how that goes, because it's easy to eclipse everything else.
Are you going to pay for your own schooling, or is this all?
Well, I hope to get as many scholarships as I possibly can.
What kind of GPA do you have?
Right now I have a 3.8.
3.8?
Yeah.
And you're in the advanced placement program?
Yes, I'm taking 3 AP courses this year. I took 3 tests last year.
What do you want to do when you grow up, Judy?
I'd like to write, but what I would like to write are either science textbooks or just scientific journals.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow. And what are you going to be there?
I think I'd like to do medicine.
Medicine. And how are you planning to pay for the costs of those 10 years of college?
Right now I'm a national merit semifinalist, but that's only a drop in the bucket when you compare it to the...
How much do they pay?
They pay $2,000 if you become the national merit. So,
well, that'll take you through the first 3 weeks. And what's going to happen for the other 9 years and 48 weeks?
For medical school, I could go to UCLA, which is much, much cheaper compared to the other colleges. I forgot what they are. They're like $1,000, I think.
Well, also, there are loan subsidies for the longer you stay in school, the more people are willing to invest in you, right? Because they figure you're going to get closer to getting out and paying it back. So a lot of graduate programs do have significant loan programs. I also want to add, there's some states that have really done, I think, an exemplary job of assisting students through loan programs. For example, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania has a bond issue that for a private college student, whether they come from in-state or out, they can get up to $10,000 in loan monies per annum.
And don't forget, community colleges are free. We'll all leave for Pennsylvania right after the program. You studied at a very special kind of place to get some background for colleges and so forth. Tell us about that.
Well, I took this class at UCLA, and it was called Applying to College, and they helped me with everything, because I'm only a junior right now, but they helped me learn in advance, like when to apply, when to take certain tests, and how to apply for those tests. And they told me about scholarships and financial aid. They're going to be doing that class again on November 8th. And it's really good because I was really confused. I mean, I didn't know if I had to apply in 11th grade. I didn't even know what to do at all.
Was it helpful for you?
Yeah, it was very helpful.
Really? And you learned a lot?
Yeah.
Good. Ultimately, gang, what is it that you really want from college, the college that you attend? What do you want to learn from it? Samantha, you want it to be earthy, but what else?
Well, I want to learn something that will make me successful when I get out there in the real world. I want a communications degree, and I want to be able to walk out there and go to some job and say, look, here I am qualified for you, and be able to go and support a family.
So one, I think the main idea of college is to give you, because like high school, all the schooling before is like just getting you ready for college, and college is getting ready for the outside world. And to come out of college with like a strong, background to be able to make it. I think that's the main.
50% of all the kids that go into college drop out before they finish up their college education. How are you going to make certain that college is not going to end for you somewhere along the line?
Well, I think that's sort of a deceiving factor, because we were talking a little bit before the show, and we knew that they count people who go to community college and drop out and go back and drop out. They count that against them. And if you transfer from one school to another, that's also counted as a dropout. So the dropout factor is not that low.
I can still remember how I responded to the question, what did you learn in college? My answer, how much I realize, how little I know. College is not at the end of your education, it's the beginning of your future. When you're in the midst of the application process, remember, it's more important what you do after you get into school, that it's the road to your ambitions. Just get in, somewhere, and go for it. You'll be investing 4 more years of your life. Make sure you give this investment all the time it deserves. I have a wonderful book to recommend, How to Get Into College by Clifford Keene. I want to thank you very much, Dr. Salter, for being here. Your comments were very much appreciated. And panel, you've been terrific in adding your little 2 cents and making this whole understanding of college admissions terrific. For Teen Talk, this is Joseph Feinstein saying we will